Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is having a fantastic evening. Hello, Auntie M. I love the new name. And hello, Sir Philip, here from the Mally. I told you guys that I wanted to start coming on a little earlier, so I am trying to inch it forward a little at a time, and I know that's gonna mess with some people's schedules, but the goal is somewhere between the 9 and 11 range. So, but we always post it on Discord. Always put it up on Discord when it's going to happen. So, if YouTube is not sending out the notifications, that's a good way to get them. And I've got some really good hearings tonight. And we've got our favorite girl. Isn't that right, baby? She's been super lovey today. Super, super lovey. Hi, how you doing? Other than the most prettiest. Time for treats. She's been so good today. And she hasn't eaten since this morning. She didn't even get her snacks earlier or anything. I know I'm terrible. I've got them. I know. Hi. Oh, I love you too. I love you too. There you go, pretty girl. These are so cute, and they've my goodness. And they've got it's like an animal cookie. It's got a buffalo. It's doggy animal cookies. Her pumpkin and cinnamon. I am currently transferring the case to the thumb drive. So, hi, baby. They're all gone. Oh, that doesn't mean you all gone. You come back up here. Come here and love me. Yes. Hello, crazy old Rexy. How you doing? You came just in time. You came just in time to see Ava. I gave her 3. I did. But like I said, she didn't eat her snacks or get a second dinner or any of that stuff. So she can have one more. One more. I tried to wink and I failed. I had a little bit of this kind of action going on. Hi. Hello. I found the coolest slow feeders. You are drooling. Oh my God. Look, she is drooling on me. I found the coolest slow feeders, and I'm thinking I need to get her some. Because they're interactive, they're toys as well as feeders. So, like, it makes them think, it makes them work for their food, and it slows down their eating. So they're not like this. Yes, yes, you need games. You need games. She doesn't know how to play. She doesn't know how to fetch. I tried fetch with her earlier. I threw one of her toys and she did what she always does. She ran up, grabbed it, and then just walked away. Well, she stared at me for a little while, and that was it. That was it. You want to say hi to Philip? Say hi, Philip. Hi, Philip. You're such a pretty girl. Pretty girl. Oh, and Billy with his matching Ava harness. Nope. He got the seam split and managed to rip it. So now I'm afraid that he's gonna like get his jaw caught in it when he's like licking at it and stuff. So I'm gonna get him one like what Earl has, which is just the it doesn't have the mesh thing. It's just the straps. Okay, this is done exporting. Yeah, I know, I'm not professional. A real YouTuber would have had this done by now. It is not in use. I know, baby girl. Good girl. You got your treats. You get bacon later. Hello, Chadaskatum. Oh, see, that makes me feel a little better. That makes me feel a little bit better. Because I thought it was just her. But she doesn't have a liquor retriever in her bloodline. Not a bit. Red bone coonhound and Australian shepherd mix. And all cute. Well, tonight's one of those nights where there's only like 4 people to say hi to. But that's okay. That's okay. I think because I have, kind of mixed up my live time. Everybody's expecting me at midnight. Hello, Iris loves tequila. Tequila. I know. Yep. And being on early, we get people like our wonderful Iris, who I've missed so much. And I'm so happy. All right. I've got the docket loaded. Let me. All right, y'all.
The 223rd District Court, Gray County, Texas, proceeding via Zoom via video conference, as authorized by actually Rule 21D of the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure, by agreement of the parties and without objection to proceeding in this matter, would call for hearing on temporary orders cause number 39562 in the interest of Lucian Aurora Pilati. Ms. Anderson, you are the movant, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
And let's see, Ms. Kincaid, you're representing Kristen Earl Leith, the respondent. Are you also ready?
Yes, Your Honor, we're present and ready.
And Ms. Pilati, you are respondent. Are you ready this afternoon?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Anderson, you may proceed.
Okay, Judge, I would like just to make a statement. My name's Jerry Anderson.
All right, would you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give and the matter now in hearing before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you may make your statement, and then that may be subject to cross-examination by Ms. Kincaid and Ms. Pilati. All right.
Thank you. My name is Jerry Anderson, and I'm the intervener in this matter. I'm the paternal grandmother of Lucian Aurora Pilati, born on 2018 to Ashley and Christian. On February 9th, 2024, the department took custody of Lucian and her sister. The department advised that Ashley tested positive for methamphetamines, cocaine, and marijuana. We believe the school called CPS because Ashley was not sending the girls to school for weeks at a time. Ashley believed that I called CPS. My parents have custody of Lou, and I was the backup caregiver. But since CPS has not filed a case against Ashley, the child is placed voluntarily, and she's taken me off as a backup caregiver, and my parents need help with Lucian. Ashley's not had a full-time job in 2+ years. We've encouraged and supported her for 2 years to no avail. Ashley began going to cosmetology school and dating a man in prison, and she started going downhill for some reason. She lost her house on Sierra Street. So my family stepped in, and my other son moved her into a house on Hamilton Street, charged her $500 a month for rent, but she got behind. So when the children were removed, he evicted her. My parents have been getting Lulu for 2+ years every weekend, and Ashley expected it. I guess now I'm glad they did, because we've saved her from abuse and neglect.
Let me stop you right there. Miss Pilati, you need to sit down somewhere and quit moving around, all right?
Okay.
You're in court and you're not going to be allowed to move around in court. So you need to lie somewhere. Just sit down, okay?
Her shirt says, I match energy.
Thank you, Miss Anderson.
Lulu has allergies and cannot be around any kind of smoke. Ashley smoked in the vehicle, and her boyfriend smoked marijuana in the house. Every time we got Lulu, we had to take her to the doctor. We had to give her breathing treatments just to get her better. For the last 2 years, I have been the one taking her to the doctor. I'm currently trying to get her into an allergy specialist, but since she took me off as a backup caregiver, I cannot legally take her to the doctor. Ashley doesn't have a home. She doesn't have a full-time job. My dad helped her get a car last week. It's been 90 days plus since CPS took the kids, and this is a requirement, and she still has not done it. On May 7th, we had a family meeting with CPS, and we requested that Ashley come help with Lucian some more with my parents. To this day, she has had no in-person visits with her, and she lives here in town. Monday, Lucian graduated from Head Start, and her mom did not attend. She's a 5-year-old happy little girl. She's in dance. She goes fishing. She loves being with my parents, but my parents are 70 years old and cannot raise her alone. Now, Christian, the dad, is a recovering addict. He's been sober for over a year and is financially stable. He lives in Azle, Texas, and he's in the process of rebuilding his life. And if things don't get better, he would at some point like for Lulu to live with him. Today, I'm requesting to be appointed the managing conservator of her. I want visitation at all times mutually agreed to, and Ashley's to continue to be supervised by my parents. I asked that Christian's child support be terminated, but he continue to pay on his arrearage per month because he is behind. That's all I have right now, Judge.
All right. You're basically requesting, your relief that you're requesting is basically set out in the safety plan, is it not, Miss Anderson?
Yes, but as I said, CPS says it's voluntary since they have not filed a case.
I understand that.
And Ashley's made it where I can't do anything.
I understand. Ms. Pilati, do you have any questions for Miss Anderson?
No questions, no, sir.
All right. Ms. Kincaid?
Thank you, Your Honor. So just to be clear, the department has not filed a case against Ms. Pilati and Mr. Leaf. Is that correct?
Yes.
But the children were removed from her home. Is that correct?
Yes.
And they're currently placed with your parents. So that would be Lulu's or Lucian's great-grandparents. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in the past, you have always, or for the last 2 years, minimum, you have been the one that makes her medical appointments. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you take her to and from those medical appointments. Is that correct?
Yes.
And since there is a safety plan in place from the department, you're no longer able to make those medical appointments. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that is really important because obviously Lucian's a child, but also she has some other health issues that need to be attended to. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you need to be able to enroll her in school since she's going to be going into kindergarten. Is that correct?
Yes.
And to ensure that, she gets to and from school. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in the past, part of the reason for removal, we believe, is that there was a truancy complaint filed.
Yes.
And just to back up a little bit, the child has historically stayed with your parents or with you from Thursday nights until Sunday mornings when you would return the child to school. Is that correct?
Well, actually, yes, except for Mondays we have dance, so it would be after dance in the evening on Monday.
Okay. So the issue was not the child's attendance on Mondays and Fridays. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's when your family has the child.
Yes.
The
Is
issue
this
with
child,
it,
excuse me, is this child in pre-K or kindergarten?
She was in Head Start.
Oh, Head Start. Okay, thank you.
okay, just to clarify for the court, Lucian has an older sister. Is that correct?
Yes, Exara.
Okay. And what grade is Exara in?
I believe she's in first grade. I can't be sure.
Okay. And so the issue for that we believe caused the removal is that Exara missed Tuesdays through Thursdays as well.
Well, I believe Exara was missing Monday through Fridays.
Okay. But she's not your grandchild.
No.
Okay. So the problem that we had going back, the problem that we had is that the child was missing Tuesdays through Thursdays.
Yes.
Okay. And in addition, we're aware that there were some drug screens done by the department,
Yes.
and the results of those drug screens were concerning to the department.
Yes.
And the department put in a safety plan and gave 90 days to do follow-up and see what kind of progress has been made. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you, some of those things we know are transportation, housing, employment. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know if she's required to do an OSAR?
I do not know.
Okay. There are some classes that she needs to attend. Is that correct?
I would assume.
Okay.
Now, for the record, she is Miss Pilati.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes. And without talking about the, details of what happened in the family team meeting, suffice it to say the children were not returned to Miss Pilati after that meeting.
Correct.
Okay. And so what you're asking the court today is that you be named a conservator, temporary managing conservator of the child so that you can make sure that her medical needs are met and she is able to be enrolled in school and that she can attend school.
Yes.
And to clarify to the court, Ms. Anderson, you don't want to raise Lucian.
No.
You want her parents to raise her. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you would be happy or thrilled if one or both of these parents could do a great job in co-parenting this child in the future.
Yes.
But right now, you're concerned for Lucian's safety.
Yes.
Okay, and so you're asking the court to name you temporary managing conservator. You are asking the court to have supervised visitation for Ms. Pilati.
Yes.
And as agreed by the parties.
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass witness.
Do you have any other thing you'd like to say, Miss Anderson? Anything else?
No, sir.
Do you have any other witnesses?
No, sir.
Miss Pilati, would you like to testify?
I want to say that she has lied just now.
You need to raise your right hand, please, ma'am. I need to swear you in. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give and the matter now in hearing before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God?
I do.
All right, you need to state your name for the record, and then you can tell me what you want me to hear.
All right. My name is Ashley Michelle Pilati. And she said that on my drug screening that I tested positive for marijuana, which I did not. and meth they had ruled out because I am prescribed Adderall. So that's what that came up for. The only thing that I did fell for was cocaine, but I have been sober. And then her also saying that I haven't taken Lucian to the doctor in 2 years is also a lie. I could get medical records to prove that as well. I just got her teeth fixed. Like, I'm more than capable of taking care of my kid. And I don't appreciate her saying that I haven't done this and this in a few years when I actually have.
Anything else?
That's about it.
All right, Ms. Anderson, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, no, sir.
Ms. Kincaid?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Ms. Pilati, when was the date of your last drug screen?
It was a few weeks ago and I came up clean, so
Okay, was that a hair follicle or UA?
UA.
Okay. Are you working anywhere?
I have a job at Domino's coming up. I was working at the Dollar General, but they just took me off the schedule out of nowhere with like no reasoning. I couldn't get a hold of the manager, nothing. They wouldn't answer my phone calls or anything.
Okay. Do you have stable housing?
Right now, yes.
I'm sure they had a reason. The no reason thing doesn't work for me.
Okay, where
It's not my house, but I'm living with my boyfriend's mother right now.
Okay, so is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Okay, how many people live in that house?
3.
And how many bedrooms is it?
It's a 3-bedroom, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so who else lives in the house with you?
Me, my boyfriend, and his mom.
Okay, and
What's your boyfriend's name?
Caleb.
What's
Last
his-
name? Last name?
Last name Bailey.
And his mother's name?
I just keep to myself over here. I don't really know her name.
All right. Does she live in the house with you?
Yes.
And you don't know her name?
Yeah. She works like all the time, so
All the time.
pretty much.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Kincaid, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And regarding transportation, it sounds like, do you have transportation now?
Yes, I just bought a vehicle.
Okay. As a requirement of the safety plan that's been put in place, have you been asked to do an OSAR evaluation?
No.
Have you been asked to attend AA or NA?
Yes, I start those classes. I start them on Thursdays and Saturdays.
Okay, have you started those?
Not yet.
Okay, and the safety plan was put in place over 3 months ago, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, are you asked to take a parenting class?
No.
Have you been asked to take to attend individual counseling?
No.
Okay.
I already have. I'm already in counseling on my own, so.
Okay. What other requests has the department made of you to get Lucian and your other daughter back?
They just need me to do this 12-week program with the daily recovery, and that's pretty much it at this point.
Okay. Are you allowed visitation with Lucian at this time?
Yes.
Okay. When are you allowed to have visitation with Lucian?
Anytime, as long as the grandparents are free and they're not like out of town or anything, or
Okay. When is the last time you went and visited Lucian?
I think it was not this last weekend, but the weekend before we video called. I video called with her and Exara because I was supposed to see both of them, but he wasn't able to make it down with Exara, so.
Okay. And do you live here in Pampa, is that correct?
Yes.
And the child is currently residing in Pampa, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you could see Lucian anytime without restriction, so long as she's basically not in school. Is that correct?
Yeah, or they're not out of town.
Okay. Have you been asked to assist with, daily things with Lucian? You could go over there anytime, help cook, clean, put her to bed, do morning routine, night routine. Have you been asked that?
They said that that would be like a good thing to do, but Debbie and Papa, they said that they wouldn't really want that because they have their own schedule with her and they wouldn't want me to like intervene with it. So
Okay, so when's the last time you saw Lucian in person?
in person, I would say 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay,
It was on a weekend.
okay, I'll pass the witness.
And how long was that visit? Hours?
They usually last up to like an hour 30 minutes.
All right. And do you have any other kind of contact with her?
We do video calls on Facebook, like on the Messenger.
And how often do those happen?
Almost every weekend for sure, because I do it with her and Exara, because Exara stays in Amarillo with her dad.
All right. Anything else you'd like to tell the court?
Well, also I might not have like a technically a full-time job, no, but I do like I make press-on nails on the side, so that does take up a lot of my time as well. So that is a source of income that I do have. It's just not like in an actual shop.
All right. Ms. Kincaid, any witnesses?
I have Mr. Leith, please.
All right, Mr. Lee, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in the matter now in hearing before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Kincaid, be sure and speak up because we could barely hear you say that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, much better. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Please state your name for the court.
Christian Leith.
And Mr. Leith, you're the child, the subject of this suit, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You've heard Ms. Anderson's testimony today,
Yes, ma'am.
and do you agree with her testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that it would be in Lucian's best interest for Ms. Anderson to be named the temporary managing conservator of the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that her wish is to assist you, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that if you could become a stable, safe, sober, appropriate placement, her intention is to dismiss out of the case, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And if Ms. Pilati can do the same, that her intention is to dismiss out of the case, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do you join Ms. Anderson in agreeing with what she's asking the court today?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Anderson, any questions for Mr. Leith?
No, sir.
Ms. Pilati, any questions for Mr. Leith?
No.
All right. Any other witnesses, Ms. Kincaid?
No, Your Honor, I rest.
All right. Ms. Anderson, do you close?
Yes, I rest.
And Ms. Pilati, do you also rest?
Yes.
All right. All right. Let's see. The court will take judicial notice of Exhibit A, I think it is, which is the attached to the petition and intervention and motion to modify temporary orders. And that is the Child Protective Services Safety Plan, which was executed by Ms. Pilati, signed by her on February 9, 2024, as well as Jerry Anderson, the movement on February 9, 2024, and Robert and Debbie Douglas, as well as two representatives of the Department of Family and Protective Services. Also, we'll take notice of Exhibit C attached to that motion, which is the affidavit in support of custody by grandparent. And I forget the code section. I want to say it's 153009, but if you're going to change conservatorship, you have to have had that affidavit attached to the petition on temporary orders if you're going to change that. So it'll be the order of the court that Jerry Dawn Anderson, the petitioner in the movement, is appointed temporary sole managing conservator of the child, Lucian Aurora Pilati. Mr. Leith and Miss Pilati will be named temporary possessory conservators. Ms. Pilati, one question. Were you required to pay child support under the safety plan or otherwise?
No.
All right.
Only they said all I have to do is provide them food still.
The what? I'm sorry.
All I have to do is provide food for the kids still if they are in need.
All right. Okay. Let's see. I believe the request was that Mr. Leith his child support payments, his current child support payments be suspended. Is that correct, Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
And that he continue to be required to pay the amount in arrears?
Yes.
All right. And what is that amount?
Actually, Judge, I have not confirmed it yet. I will get confirmation, and I can e-file my confirmation from the Attorney General if you'd like. So
All right.
you can see the actual amount.
I do have of course, I do have a copy of the Attorney General's intervention, which was non-suited, but that was several months ago. So
Yeah.
if you would do that, Mr. Leith, do you know what the arrearage is?
Honestly, Judge, the last time that I seen it, it was over $10,000, but I've been paying it for a couple months now, so it could be lower. I'm not sure.
And how much is the arrearage payment?
I pay about $100 a week, so in a month it's like $400.
Now, is that current or is that arrearage?
It's
That's
currently
arrearage.
in arrearage.
All
Yeah.
right. So you'll have to figure out what the arrearage is, and then the current, I'll go ahead and suspend the current child support effective June 1, since that's just the end of next week. Let's see, visitation by Ashley Pilati will be supervised by Jerry Anderson or her designee with no overnights. The law requires that the court not simply allow it to be as mutually agreed. I've got to set a specific time.
Okay.
And I would do that from 10 to 12 on first, third, and fifth Saturday mornings.
Okay.
And those visits will be supervised. If you can mutually agree on other supervised visits, then so be it. Let me tell you that mutually agreed upon means that everybody has to agree to it.
Right.
If one of you doesn't agree to it, then it's not agreed to. All right. And so it's not enforceable. So,
Okay.
but I do have to specify visitation. That's actually out of the Amarillo Court of Appeals. And so, no overnight visits. Let's see, Ms. Anderson is temporary sole managing conservator. You'll have the right to, as CPS has put it in their safety plan, handle school functions and requirements within the school system and ensure that Lucian attends as required. You'll be authorized to obtain medical, dental, vision, and psychiatric care for the child. Do you have a Medicaid or other health insurance card for
Yes,
her?
I have her Medicaid.
All right. You can also, if you need to, apply for public benefits on behalf of the child. And it would be advisable if you would advise the parents that you of when those medical appointments are, but you'll be authorized to make those medical appointments as required and provide transportation.
Okay.
For medical, dental, vision, school, daycare, therapy, and other services that the department may offer, or other services that the child needs,
Thank you,
as
Judge.
well as all of the rights, privileges, powers, and duties of a managing conservator under the Texas Family Code. All right.
Thank you.
And let's see, Miss Kincaid, you lucky. You're the only lawyer in the bunch, so I'm going to let you prepare the order.
We can get it prepared, Your Honor.
All right. And be sure and give Miss Anderson and Miss Pilati a copy of it.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I appreciate y'all being here, and good luck to you, and good luck to Lucian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Sarah too, even though she's not part of this proceeding. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all take care. See ya.
Bye.
Wow. Are we off of YouTube?
That judge is ending though. I may need to clip that for future use. That ending there. Yeah. Man, prayers for those kids. And the yeah, I know. I had I had to leave it up. I did. Yeah, oh man, that breaks my heart. And the judge did say that the grandma is able to schedule psychiatric appointments, she should get right on that. Because I truly believe that that child, those children, but that child needs to be enrolled in therapy as quickly as possible. 2 parents with drug addictions, already that child's got to struggle in life. And you can't unring that bell in a child's life. And the kid's happy and healthy and being raised by great grandparents, but it's not enough. They need to understand that it's not their fault what they're going through. And so I really hope, my true hope is that Dad completes his recovery and gets his act together and is able to take custody of the children and take the burden off of his grandparents and his mother. Like, oh, that was a rough one. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's possible. It's absolutely possible. But it's hard because they already are demonstrating that they have drug addiction issues. That can have a genetic component. So, I mean, it's just like, how they say alcoholism can run in a bloodline. Yeah. Drug addiction's the same way. So, I am too. But he really needs to step it up and hurry up. But I know you can't rush recovery. Because then if they don't learn the coping and managing skills, they're going to put themselves right back in a position that they can't cope. And they're going to turn back to their old habits. So, I hope he's enrolled in some type of therapy as well. I don't know. It's one of those situations where I guess you don't really know what you would do until you're, God forbid, faced with the situation yourself. I can't say whether I would or I wouldn't. I hope I never have to make that choice. That's all I can say for that. But I definitely am not going to judge anyone who makes the choice that they can or that they can't. It's a big responsibility, and at that age, I don't know how they're doing it. I would struggle at my age, but there's reasons for that. Can't chase a toddler around in a wheelchair very well. Remember the walker. Oh, hey, real quick, speaking of which, you guys, June, I think it's the 4th. In just a couple weeks, I'm having another procedure done on my spine. So, it's going to be slim pickings that week. I just figured I'd give you all a heads up before we start the next clip. You might get me streaming from a hospital bed. All right. Let's see here. Well, let's see another old person. This old person's not making good decisions.
I am not, Your Honor.
I don't know, Your Honor. I was, I believe that the victim had been notified. I don't know if you've heard from her, James.
She has been notified. She's notified us she will not be on.
Oh, okay.
But she's told us what she wants.
Okay, I got you.
Let me call the case then. This is State of Kansas versus Mike Young, 24 CR 154. Announce appearances, please.
May it please the court, the state of Kansas appears through Assistant Ellis County Attorney James Rutherford.
May it please the court, the defendant Michael Young appears in person and through counsel Carol Park.
All right, we are on today on the motion to lift the no contact order between the defendant, Mr. Young, and his wife, the alleged victim in this case. Mr. Rutherford, you indicated you had contact with the victim. Her position?
Her position is she would like it lifted, Your Honor. She's been pretty adamant about it. And the state has no objection given the seriousness of this or lack of seriousness of this allegation. However, the state would note or let the court know that this is the fourth arrest for domestic battery in 4 years for Mr. Young. So that is a concern to us, but given the victim's wishes and the defendant and his age, and the state would be fine with it.
Ms. Park?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would just reiterate, I think the sentiments that Mr. Young put in his motion that he filed pro se. He has some health issues. He and his wife have been married for, I think he said 18 years. They've been together a long time. He has no other place to go. We're going to be working on getting him out of jail, and he would have no other location to go to when he gets out of jail. So, and he also believed that the victim would be willing to have him back, and it sounds like that was the case. So we would just ask the court to lift the no contact order.
Okay. Well, the court does have some concerns. Number one, Mr. Rutherford indicates this is the fourth incident in 4 years. Second, the officer in the probable cause affidavit, granted it's not necessarily a testimony, but it's a sworn statement, indicated the lethality assessment on the victim was very high, which is consistent with the 4 arrests in 4 years. While I appreciate that Mr. Young and his wife, Jane Young, may need each other and that he needs a place to reside if he gets out of jail, what are we going to do about the fact that we have repeated incidents? Has the defendant ever engaged in any anger management counseling or the BIP program or anything like that in the past? Does anybody know?
I'm not
I'm not
aware.
aware. Sorry.
It looks like the last few cases went uncharged. Because my reading of them, they were fairly minor incidents. I think it's just accumulated over a certain amount of time that I've decided to charge it at this time.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Well, if your attorney thinks it's a good idea, before you do, sometimes it's not in your best interest. But Ms. Park?
Mr. Young, you can inform us whether you've attended counseling or batter's intervention in the past.
Yes, I have. I'm still in counseling, marriage counseling.
I'm sorry,
How
I
long-
couldn't understand that.
I believe you
I'm
said
still
you
in-
attended marriage counseling, Your Honor.
I'm in marriage counseling.
You're in it or you've attended?
Yes, I am. I'm ongoing with my situation as it stands on outside the walls here at H County Jail. I do go to marriage counseling.
Where do you do that at, Mr. Young?
High Plains Mental Health Center.
Okay. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I know this is some unique circumstances, but we need to intervene in this to stop this cycle of Mr. Young being arrested, and also, but more importantly, to provide protection for his wife. Mr. Young, I'm going to lift the no contact order, but there's going to be some conditions. The conditions are that you continue in counseling at High Plains and that you sign a release there to allow High Plains to notify the county attorney's office of your attendance. We have a lot of people say, I'm going to High Plains, and then they never go to an appointment. So you're going to need to maintain all your appointments, and High Plains will have permission to notify the county attorney's office if you've missed the appointments with an unexcused absence. All right.
Okay.
In addition, you are going to be required to visit with them about and be honest with them that you've been arrested now or investigated 4 times in 4 years for domestic battery, to see whether they can put you in an individual program for some either anger management or what's called batter's intervention. We just have to stop this cycle, Mr. Young. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand that. I do.
Okay. Do you understand everything I said?
Yes, I do.
What are you required to do?
I am required to not get in trouble with my wife, go to High Plains Mental Health Center for counseling, stay out of trouble, and go ahead and I'm gonna get into some more counseling with Woodhaven program over there. They have along with CSS. Our High Plains has a Woodhaven program that goes over about 5 days a week. Have meetings each day. Each day you go there and set yourself up as meetings on the outside to, like, you know, financial counseling. They have drug and alcohol abuse, addiction counseling. I will go to my meetings in the community at AA, my AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and attend those two very regularly.
Okay. But you missed the one thing that I told you at the start, and that's understandable, but you have to sign a release at High Plains.
Yes.
Because otherwise they have a confidentiality rule. So you have to sign a release so that they can communicate with the county attorney's office.
Okay. Okay.
Understood?
Yes, understood.
All right. All right. And so we'll go ahead and lift the no contact order. Do we want to take up bond at this time, or are you going to set that for a separate hearing, Ms. Park?
We would ask for either a OR bond or supervised with CSO. He doesn't have any funds to post a bond. And I haven't discussed it with Mr. Rutherford at all, but that would be our position.
Mr. Rutherford, any regarding?
I think the main concern when bond was set, Your Honor, was that there was no place for Mr. Young to go. That's why his bond was set in the way it was, and he wasn't allowed to go to supervised bond. Now that he has a residence, there should be no issue with supervised bond with court services, so state would be fine with that.
Okay. All right. He is charged with 2 misdemeanors, as I understand it, correct? Misdemeanor batteries. All right. Mr. Young, you're going to get out of jail today on a supervised bond. So what you're going to, this is separate from the no contact order. So what you're going to need to do is when you leave the jail, you need to report immediately to the court services office. The jailers will tell you where it's here in the courthouse. You walk out of the jail, you walk right over through security and go right into, and it's right there on the bottom floor of the courthouse. Okay. You need to tell them you're on supervised bond. They have some forms for you to fill out and sign, rules that you have to obey. Some of the rules are you're not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drug. You're going to have a curfew. And you need to let them know that you're required to do all of this counseling at High Plains.
Okay.
And when you sign that release, High Plains can then communicate with the county attorney and with court services, because if you start skipping appointments, then somebody's going to come knock on your door. And if you don't start going, they're going to put you back in Orange in jail. Do you understand?
I understand. I understand. Thank you.
All right. So when you get out of jail this morning and jailer's there behind you, so I'm sure that the jailer can hear everything I'm saying. They're going to let you check out today. Where's the first place you go?
To the court services
Perfect.
courthouse.
You bet. Okay. And Mr. Rutherford, can you call court services when we're done? Because I got a 9 o'clock starting right after this, and let them know I put Mr. Young on supervised bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else for today?
Nothing.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Young, good luck. I hope I don't have to talk to you anymore, okay?
All right, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. And with that, we'll be adjourned, counsel.
Yeah, I really, really hope that he follows through with the counseling. That is too old to be getting in brawls. I mean, come on. They've been married for 18 years, and yeah, just give it up, Grandpa. Oh, I love old people. I really do. 90% of them. They're my favorites. But that guy, just be nice. Oh, I loved when he was like guessing at what his release terms were supposed to be, and he's like just listing off every thing that he could think of, but he didn't. He couldn't get what the judge told him. The one thing the judge said he needed to do. Just. Oh yeah. And now this one is fun. This is 2 hearings. It almost became the thumbnail, and then I came across the grandma's plea, and I was like, nope. I need to do this one. But so the last couple cases of the evening, pro se traffic court hearing in Wisconsin. Yay. So there's a chance that someday I might get pulled over by this state trooper. And you best believe I'm gonna remember him. Oh, hello, Nana Laura, honey. You're just in time for the last round of cases. So yeah, this one was gonna be the thumbnail because this guy had to call his mom as a witness after he had to ask his mom if he should take the plea or not. And his mom gave him terrible advice. So, it's fun.
Mr. Alam, is that how you say your last name? You may come up here and have a seat. We will go on the record in the matter 24 TR 145, State of Wisconsin versus Samir Alam. The state appears through Assistant District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. Mr. Alam appears in person without counsel. We're set here today in this matter for a court trial. Mr. Alam was issued a speeding ticket in a 55-mile-an-hour zone, 16 to 19 miles per hour over. Mr. Schmidt, this is contested. Has an offer been presented?
Yes, we talked on March 7th, where Mr. Alam indicated to me the cause of the problem was his speedometer wasn't working, so I offered a speedometer violation and he rejected that.
Which is
Equipment violation.
is an equipment violation, and intent is not necessary, correct? He doesn't have to know that it was broken in order for him to be able to still get a speeding ticket.
As the court's aware, intent is also not an element of speeding.
That is correct. So, Mr. Alam, I will give you one last time, and one last time only before I take evidence and testimony. An offer has been presented for a speedometer in equipment violation, which I believe, what is the price on that?
$175.30 and 2 points.
$175.30 is the offer. So $175.30 for an equipment violation. Otherwise, we are proceeding and moving forward with the speeding 16 to 19 over, which if the court finds by clear, convincing, and satisfactory evidence, which is a lower burden here than beyond a reasonable doubt, you could face a $200 fine and $200.50 fine, 4 points off of your license. Do you need time to think about that, or are you rejecting that offer here today?
Your Honor, can I think about it?
You can have 20 minutes or 15 minutes.
Could I just talk about it with my mom real quick?
You sure may.
All right. Thank you.
All right. How long do you need? Because otherwise I'm going to move on to the other individual's court trial.
Just like 1 minute.
All right, you can go have a minute. We are briefly adjourned. Back on the record, same appearances as previously noted. Mr. Alam, an offer was presented. Are you accepting the offer, or do you wish to proceed with the trial here today?
I just have a question, if that's all right, Your Honor.
Okay.
So is there any way I can pay the 175 or the 220 and not get any points?
No.
No. Okay, I would like to reject the offer.
And proceed. Okay, all right. Please call your first witness.
My first witness is Samir Alam.
Mr. Alam, you are being called as an adverse witness. That means the state is calling you to provide evidence and testimony. Mr. Schmidt, are you okay if he has a seat where he is right now, or do you want him in the witness stand?
Can I ask that you go up because I'm deaf in my left ear?
Oh, that is correct. All right. So, Mr. Alam, please come forward. First, raise your right hand. You're going to be sworn in, then have a seat over here in the witness stand.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to provide in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. So please come over here, have a seat. All right, Mr. Schmidt, you may begin.
Could you state your name for the record?
Samir Zahara Amirali Alam.
Okay. And on February 10th at around 7:45, were you stopped by Trooper Olson
Are we talking AM or PM?
at PM?
That's when I got pulled over.
You were pulled over at that time?
Like at 7:45, I believe so, yeah.
Okay. By the fellow behind me?
Yep.
And you're on Highway 70?
Yep.
How fast were you going at that time?
So from my speedometer's view, I was going 5 over, but in reality, once some officer pulled me over, I was actually going around 13 or 14 over, and that kicked in. And after he told me that the actual speed and my speed on my speedometer was completely different, just because I didn't realize that until a day after we did that. Me and my mom, we performed a test on the highway. She had a speedometer on her phone, and I looked at my speedometer on my vehicle, and it was completely off by like 13 or 14 miles an hour.
Okay, so backing up, you said 5 over. What was the actual speed you were going with, the number?
The number on my speedometer?
Yes.
The number on my speedometer was 60 miles an hour.
Okay. So you didn't tell Trooper Olson you thought you were going 65 miles per hour?
I thought I was going like 60, but it was not 65. It was either 60 or not over 60.
Okay, and you're basing this on what your speedometer said?
Yes.
All right. So you believed you were going 60, and the reason you came to doubt your speedometer is you tested against your mom's phone?
Yes, and after the officer told me my actual speed.
Okay. Did you get it tested against any sort of other devices?
No. So what happened was that I sold that vehicle and told the buyer that this is what's wrong with the vehicle, and I no longer have that vehicle anymore.
Did you ever go to a mechanic?
I did not.
No mechanic has determined there's a problem with your speedometer.
I just from our tests, but we haven't took it to a mechanic or anything.
What kind of phone does your mom have?
iPhone.
And what was the app that was used?
Speedometer. It's one of these speedometer apps, and we also tried on Life 360 as well.
How do those programs work?
They track your speed on your, basically like how fast you're going on a vehicle, and they say how fast you're going.
Does it use like infrared like our radars do? Do they use GPS? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
You don't know.
It was either probably GPS.
But you're not sure.
I'm not sure, no.
And if it was GPS, do you know how a GPS could determine the speed of a vehicle?
Usually on my vehicles, I've had these digital speedometers, and it usually goes with the GPS, and it's always been accurate.
I mean, do you know like the mechanics of it, the science of it?
I do not.
Did you tell the officer the reason you were going fast was because you needed to use the bathroom?
Yes.
Did the officer also indicate to you you had another equipment violation, that your tires were protruding 2 inches out from the fender, and only did a warning with you on that?
Yes.
I don't recall if I asked, you were on Highway 70 when this happened?
Yes.
All right. No further questions.
That was nice of the officer not to ding him on the equipment violation for his tires. And I do want to quickly point out that I don't believe him because his math is completely off. He's saying that the speedometer app said that that he was 13 miles off using the speedometer app, but he's saying that he was traveling at 60 miles an hour. And so that would mean he'd be 8 miles off. I don't believe him.
All right. Mr. Alam, you can tell me some information now, or you can just wait because you'll get an opportunity to tell me a whole lot of information after Mr. Schmidt is done with his witnesses. Is there anything briefly you would like to tell me with regards to the questions that Mr. Schmidt just asked you?
I would just like to know, like,
I can't give you information.
Oh,
You
okay.
can only tell me information.
oh, no further information for now.
Okay, all right, you can go have a seat over there. All right, Mr. Schmidt, next witness.
I call Trooper Anthony Olson.
Trooper Olson, please come forward, raise your right hand, be sworn in, and come have a seat at the witness stand.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to provide in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You may begin.
Could you state your name?
Anthony Olson.
How are you employed?
I'm a state trooper for the Wisconsin State Patrol.
Were you so employed on February 10th?
Yes, I was.
How long have you been a state trooper?
For approximately 7.5 years.
Did you have law enforcement experience prior to that?
Yes, I did.
Could you describe that?
I worked for the Shell Lake Police Department and for the St. Croix Tribal Police Department.
Okay. Do you have any training as it regards to operating speed detection devices?
Yes, I do.
What kinds of devices?
Both radar and laser devices.
Hey, Mr. Alam, you can have a seat at the table.
Both radar and laser speed detection devices.
Have you been specifically trained? Let me back up. Were you in a squad vehicle on February 10th at 7:45 p.m.?
Yes, I was.
Did you have a radar in that vehicle?
Yes, I did.
The radar you had in that vehicle, are you trained in the use of that one?
Yes, I am.
Do you have any certifications in its use?
Yes, I do.
Did you do any testing of the device prior to your shift to determine if it was in working function?
Yes, I did.
What testing?
It does, or I have it do an internal test where I press the test button on the radar remote, and then it's a tuning fork test for both moving and stationary radar.
So that's an external test.
That's an external test, yes.
Did your radar pass both tests?
Yes, it did.
Are these the tests that the manufacturer requires to determine the functioning order of it?
Yes, they are.
They're tests you're trained and certified in doing.
Yes, they are.
You administered them properly
Yes, I did.
and it passed.
Yes, it did.
At the end of your shift, did you do any more tests on the radar device?
I tested it after the traffic stop. I don't recall if I did it at the end of my shift. I did it after the traffic stop though.
The traffic stop of Mr. Alam.
Yes,
How did it do on the test there?
it passed all the tests then as well.
Both internal and external.
Yes.
Okay. Backing up, then we kind of just did like the device stuff first. Did you stop Mr. Alam?
Yes, I did.
Why did you stop him?
I stopped him for a speed violation. The radar indicated speed was 74 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone.
And he stopped without any issue?
Yes, he did.
What did you say to him? Or what was the discussion with Mr. Alam when you stopped him?
I identified myself, advised the reason for the stop. I asked him if he knew how fast he was going, and he stated he thought he was going 65 miles per hour.
And did he give a reason why he was going so fast?
They were coming back from the artesian well and trying to get back to their cabin so he could go to the bathroom.
The portion of Highway 70 you stopped him on was in Burnett County?
Yes, it was.
The Samir Alam we're talking about that you stopped, you see him in court here today?
Yes, I do.
You say where he is and what he's wearing?
He's seated at the defense table wearing a black t-shirt and blue jean pants.
Let the record reflect that Trooper Olson has identified Mr. Alam.
The area where you clocked him with the radar, were there any road conditions or other conditions that could have caused distortion of the results?
No, there was not.
Could you explain why not?
It was a wide open area. There was no interference observed that anywhere in that stretch. I've conducted radar enforcement in that area many times.
Were you moving or stationary?
I was stationary on the side of Highway 70 near Town Hall Road.
So the radar you were using, was that the kind that needed to be tested against the input speed of the patrol car? Or is that just for moving radar?
That's just for moving radar.
So this was stationary?
This was stationary.
Okay, that was my confusion. And did you observe any other equipment violations with Mr. Alam?
The tires on the vehicle were protruding approximately 4 inches outside the fender line. The maximum that traffic rules allow is for the tires to extend 2 inches beyond the fender line.
But you didn't write him a ticket for that?
No, I gave him a written warning for the tires.
Okay, so you only gave him a ticket for the speeding.
That is correct.
And this highway is marked 55 miles per hour?
Yes, it is.
And the default on unmarked highways in Wisconsin is 55?
Yes, it is. Unmarked two-lane highways.
Yeah, sorry. And you said, I forget, you say 73 or 74 is what it was clocked at?
74 miles an hour.
Okay. I have no other questions.
All right. Mr. Alam, do you have questions for the trooper?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down. Thank you. Any other witnesses?
No.
All right. Mr. Alam, this is now your opportunity to present your case with testimony or witnesses or other evidence that you may have. Because you're not represented by an attorney, I'm going to allow you to provide it to the court in what's called a narrative, like if you're telling a story, okay? And then Mr. Schmidt will be able to ask you questions after that, all right? So do you wish to provide testimony or do you want to call witnesses? Do you want to present evidence? How do you want to go with this?
Could I call my mom as a witness? Or
Yes, you can. Is it Ms. Alam? Amir? Okay, if you want to come here, raise your right hand and you can be sworn in and you can come have a seat at the witness stand.
Do you swear that the testimony you are about to provide in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
All right. Once you are seated, please state your name and spell it for the record.
Zahara Zakina Amir, first name Zahara, middle name Sakina, last name Amir.
All right. Mr. Alam, you may ask your mom questions.
So the reason that what was the reason that we were going 60 miles an hour, but in reality 74?
Because your speedometer was not telling you the right number that you were going.
And then what test did we perform to see that the speedometer is not correct?
I have in my phone the app called LifeSig 360. That's where I track you, like to see how speed you're going, and that's where we perform that test.
And what did the Life 360 say when we were on 35 going 70 miles an hour?
It showed that you were going almost like 85.
No, for like, yeah. So it shows that the speedometer on the truck is faulty.
Right.
And what was the reason we were speeding?
Well, first, you wanted to use a bathroom really badly, and that's the reason you thought you were speeding, but in reality, you were speeding more than assumed when the officer stopped you. And I was shocked, like by five or six over, you've been pulled over. And that's when I kind of asked you, is the speedometer correct?
Her math is faulty as well.
No further questions.
Mr. Schmidt.
So the GPS test you did confirms that when he thought he was going 60, he told the officer he was going 73.
That's right.
No further questions.
All right, you may step down. Oh, do you have questions off of that question?
No.
You may step down. Thank you. Mr. Alam, any other witnesses or do you want to provide testimony to the court?
Could I provide a testimony?
You sure can.
So basically, we were coming from the artesian well. We were getting water for our cabin, and I just was really like when we got to I believe it's after Spooner. I just really had to go to the restroom and there's like no bathroom there or anywhere close by except Hertel. And so I was just trying to go like 5 or 6 over to go to the bathroom in Hertel or either make it to the cabin. And as soon as I got pulled over, that is when the officer told me I was going about 74. And that just did not make sense to me because in my speedometer it said that I was going 60, and that's all that I recall. And once my mom said that that doesn't sound right if you were going 60, we performed that test on the highway on 35 near like in Minnesota. And we saw that the speedometer is about 13 or 12 to 13. It was not correct. It was like 12 to 13 miles an hour off. And it just clicked in that the speedometer is now faulty and I just had to get rid of that vehicle. So I sold it and I let the buyer know that the vehicle has a faulty speedometer by about 12 to 13 miles an hour. And he said that he's gonna probably do something with it. And it is no longer in my possession. I do have a new vehicle with the perfectly working speedometer now.
All right, thank you. Mr. Schmidt, do you have questions for Mr. Alam?
No.
Okay, argument, are you done with your evidence?
Yes.
Argument?
Our initial offer we sent by the mail was speeding 1 to 10 over 175/30. That was rejected. We had the meeting. He mentioned the defaulty speedometer, so I gave him a better offer, pleading to the defective speedometer.
You can't really argue what you offered.
I'm just giving
Negotiation and settlements.
context, because the defendant has admitted multiple times today he thought he was intentionally driving 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. When he was surprised that it was much more than he thought he was speeding from Trooper Olson, and they said that they use a different technology that independently confirmed Trooper Olson's radar. So in addition to that, I have covered all 5 of the Hansen factors. So as the court's aware, the device troopers use, the science is presumed accurate by statute by the legislature. The Hansen case said all I need to prove is the device was operated by someone certified in it and that it's reliable. I went through all 5 of the factors with the officer, that he had adequate training and experience, that was in proper working order, that was both internally and externally checked, that the conditions did not show distortion, covered all the Hansen factors. To the extent that the defendant would argue that there's a mens rea, there's not. State v. Brown, that's a
Did you mean to go that fast? That's what mens rea means. Did you mean to go that fast?
State v. Brown, which is 107 WIS.2D 522, Court of Appeals 1980. That was the case that's determined that speeding is a strict liability offense. It doesn't matter if you intended to do it or not. And the only defenses you're allowed to make against those in Wisconsin are self-defense, coercion, necessity, and entrapment. And this is none of those. So for those reasons, I ask the court to find guilty.
All right, thank you. Mr. Alam, argument?
It's just that I bought that vehicle not too long ago from the speeding ticket, and prior to that, I was never informed that the speedometer was faulty or anything, and I purchased that vehicle without knowing that anything is wrong with it. And everywhere I went, I've never been pulled over. I've never been stopped for anything really. And after the officer pulled me over, that's when I was shocked because my speedometer is like completely off, and I was never aware that from the buyer who sold me that vehicle.
Thank you. This is a speeding traffic ticket. And prior to starting evidence and starting the trial, I informed you of the burden of proof. It's not the very high beyond a reasonable doubt burden. It's this lower kind of middle burden of clear, convincing, and satisfactory evidence. Is it clear and is it convincing? And am I satisfied that you were speeding? And speeding above 55, 16 to 19 over. I don't have to care. The law doesn't care about your reasons as to why. The law cares, were you speeding? And were you speeding at that mile per hour over the limit? Ignorance of your equipment and whether or not it's properly functioning is not a defense or an excuse. Quite honestly, the law puts it on you and places it on your shoulder to know that your equipment, your vehicle is running to legal standards. And you're admitting here today, it was not running at legal standards. There's a speedometer violation. It was broken. You didn't know it was broken, but you found out it was broken. And when you found out it was broken, it was because Trooper Olson pulled you over and clocked you at 16 to 19 over, clocked you at 74 in a 55. Your mom did these tests, and even if the court were to accept those as proper tests that were done, even if I give you the benefit of the doubt, she corroborated what Trooper Olson testified to. You were going between 16 and 19 over the speed limit. So the court does find that the state has met its burden. I will find that the ticket is valid, and I will find you guilty of speeding in a 55, 16 to 19 miles an hour over. I'm going to assess $200.50, 4 points off of your license. Are you able to pay that today?
Yes.
All right, pay it today. If you fail to pay it today, not only will the court enter a civil judgment against you because you're always going to owe it, that'll affect your driver's license and your ability to drive, but you could set up to 6 months in jail. Are you still at?
Yes.
All right, telephone still ends in.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Please go make sure you make that payment here today. We are adjourned.
And remember, the original offer was $175.30 and 2 points. So, yeah. And then we've got another one. We've got another one.
April Campana. We will go on the record in the matter 23, you can have a seat, 23 TR 1018, State of Wisconsin versus April Campana. The state appears through Assistant District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. Ms. Campana appears in person without counsel. We're set here today in this matter for the court trial. This is a speeding ticket, 16 to 19 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. Mr. Schmidt, has an offer been presented?
Yes, I offered speeding 1 to 10 over for 175.30 and 3 points.
All right, Ms. Campana, I need to formally ask you if you wish to accept that offer or if you wish to reject that offer and proceed with the court trial.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So
I can't guarantee I can answer.
Okay,
but
so I didn't know if there was a way that we could communicate prior to court. All our communication with that offer was through mail. So I wasn't able to ever speak with them beforehand.
Do you want to have a few minutes to talk with Mr. Schmidt, just so you can have an understanding, but the offer is to amend it down from, amend it 2 stages down.
Correct.
From what you were cited at to 1 to 10 over, and that would be $175.30 and 2 points off of your license.
If you're willing to talk.
It's not 2, it's 3.
Oh,
but
3
yeah, I'd be
points.
willing to talk.
Thank you. All right, so we'll give you a few minutes so you can go and talk. Back on the record, same appearances as previously noted. Mr. Schmidt has had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Campana. Ms. Camp, who wants to give me any information?
I talked with her. She provided me some information about the equipment of her vehicle. I offered a speedometer violation, 175.30, 2 points equipment violation.
Do you wish to accept that offer or proceed with the trial here today? And I probably should, you sat through another trial, but I do have a duty to tell you, the burden of proof is not beyond a reasonable doubt. It's that middle kind of burden, that clear, convincing, and satisfactory. Did they clearly convince me, and am I satisfied that a violation occurred? And you don't have to have the intent. You don't have to say, I knew and I wanted to speed, or I wanted to do this. It is, were you, regardless of facts. But I mean, this is your day, and you get to, we can move forward with court trial here today, or you can accept the offer that's been presented. Now there's been 2, and it's been because you've had the ability to talk to Mr. Schmidt. So what would you like to do here today?
Is there a copy of my original ticket that he presented to me?
The real?
Yeah.
I can give you a copy of what has been scanned into my file. That's all I have.
Because I don't have that one.
Oh, the original here.
I think she's looking for the citation with narrative.
Oh, I don't get it. I don't get a citation with any narrative. I only get the paper of showing me what was issued. I can give you what I have. Oops, did you print it? Okay, then you beat me to it.
Want to show you. This is.
The record would reflect that the state is presenting Ms. Campana with his electronic file, which may or may not contain certain information about the stop.
Essentially, what I'm showing her is the citation narrative for the ticket at the bottom.
What does high audio mean?
I can't answer those kind of questions for you. Mr. Schmidt possibly can give you a little bit more information. If you need to talk to him a little bit about that, you sure may. We are off the record.
These are the things I was talking to you about in the hall about relating to reliability and malfunctioning nature of the device.
Okay.
A lot of it's shorthand.
Okay. I was gonna say, I don't remember seeing this on my citation.
Back on the record, same appearances as previously noted. Ms. Campana, have you had enough time to think about what you want to do now?
Sorry. I guess I'm kind of confused with the way things work, but I think, yeah, I have enough time.
What?
Yeah, I had enough time to think.
Okay, so do you wish to accept the offer or do you want to have a trial?
And the offer was for
A speedometer violation, equipment violation, the fine would be $175.30 and 2 points versus the other offer, which was the same money, but 3 points. Or if you proceed to trial and if the court does find you guilty, it would be $200.50 and 4 points.
Okay. I will take the current offer that was given to me today.
All right, formal motion to amend.
So made.
Granted, the court will, do you wish to enter a guilty or no contest plea? If you know the difference. No
I do
contest
not know
means you're
that.
saying, you know what? I don't believe I may necessarily be guilty, but they can prove that I'm guilty and I'm not accepting or necessarily saying I'm guilty, but I'm willing to accept the offer and plea.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not guilty, but I'm willing to accept the offer.
Okay, so no contest plea will be entered on your behalf. I will assess $175.30, 2 points off of your license. Are you able to pay that here today?
Do you take credit cards?
Yes, they do take credit cards.
Amex or like American Express?
No.
No. Okay.
So they take other credit cards, or you are local. You know, I can give you up to 30 days to pay.
I can use a different one.
Okay, all right. So, but I still have to put the warning. If you don't pay, then not only will the court issue a civil judgment against you because you're always going to owe that, but you could sit up to 6 months in jail. So very important that you pay it. Okay.
Well, those were really fun. I need that old man judge clip. Are we off of YouTube? Oh, that was great. Oh my gosh. You guys, thank you. You guys had me cracking up at the most inappropriate times, probably, but still. Oh, you guys are so much fun. I love being here with you. I love having you here. Oh my gosh, the math was just something else. Yeah, the math was not mathing. I know. And you're the only reason I'm here is because of you guys. Otherwise, I would have nothing to do. Like, I would be so sad if I wasn't able to be here. For everybody who logs on only for the court cases, that's all I've got today. But I am going to stay and, joke around with my chat. So you're welcome to stay a part of that. I would love to have you. But if you're not here for that, I completely understand. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. And come back again. And now for my chat. On the points ones. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I ran 3 different courtrooms. I did. So first we had the grandmother's plea for help, wanting to have a temporary order put in place because the mom was blocking the grandmother from being able to care for the child that was not in the mom's custody because of CPS. And then we had the old man with hurdy charges against his wife of 18 years. And then we had the 2 pro se traffic hearings. I am really glad that the girl decided to, in the very end, decided to take the offer. She had just gotten to watch what happens when you fight it but are guilty anyways. Like she surely she knew what she was in for. Oh, you know what? Here's the topic of the day. I'm mad. Well, don't go back yet. Stay and visit with us because you're so much fun. If you got a little time. I know. But I started at 9. We did put the notice up in Discord. I'm sorry. I'm trying to come on earlier. Oh, don't. Ooh, he said it twice on the way back to the hotel. Oh. I audio recorded that and sent it. I sent it to my 2 besties. And I'm like, oh. Like, you guys are going to have to restrain me. I'm going to jump through my screen. No. Well, it's the only way that people can get notifications for my lives, apparently, because I put them up and YouTube doesn't put them out. So, it wasn't you. So my handicap ramp is wooden. Okay. And somehow it is infested with aphids, foxglove aphids. Now, for those of you who've been around a while, you know that I used to be, like, before my accident, I was huge into gardening and farmers market and all that stuff. So I'm very familiar with aphids. And I'm not pleased. I would go out and like, I can only stand for a very short amount of time before I have to lean on something. And so I would go out on my deck for my handicap ramp and lean on the railing, and I would have these neon green little tiny bugs. Like, ooh, gross. And there wasn't a ton of them, but enough that it was, like, concerning. And they start out as these tiny little neon green, like, mite looking bugs, and then they turn into these black little tiny beetle-like bugs, and they're horrible. And here's the wild thing with aphids. There's several types of aphids, but the two main distinctions of them are there's ovipara and vivipara. So vivipara means that they give live birth. Ovipara means that they mate, they lay eggs, and then the eggs hatch, right? And the eggs can overwinter, and survive the winter, even in Wisconsin. But okay, so the majority of them give live birth. But here's the crazy thing. The females are born pregnant. So when you see a few little aphids anywhere, it's already too late. Like, they blow up in the springtime. So I treated my entire handicap ramp with neem oil, which is something, it's organic. It's something that I've used for years. It kills fungus, parasites, mites, ants. It will kill any soft body insect. You got to be careful when you're using it, because like if you spray, like for instance, I grew chamomile for years and it still comes up even though I haven't planted it for a couple of years now. And I'm actually trying to make it not come up anymore because it's like a big draw for aphids. So anyways, the neem oil is made from the seeds of the neem tree, which come from Australia. And so, I mean, Australia, where everything wants to kill you. So it's going to work, right? But it's completely organic and it is so effective. But it will also kill ladybugs and it will kill bees, which are two things you really do not want to kill. So you have to be careful when you spray it. You got to do it like before bees start going out to, pollinate and get their yums for the day. Ladybugs eat aphids, but I've seen one ladybug since 2020. One. So that's not enough. That's not enough. But yeah, I treated my entire deck completely. I got in every crevice. I got behind every board. I turned the spray hose upside down and got underneath the railing. Oh, man. Hello, Only Zul'am. Love you too. Oh, I didn't realize you were Dana M. That's what I get when you change your name. You gotta tell me it's you. I know they're awful. They'll eat anything. I swear. They're almost, the other thing is they're called Japanese beetles, not the red ones. These ones are the iridescent green ones with the little white dots around the bottom of them. And they don't have predators, so they are a huge nuisance. Almost nothing eats them. So you got to I took a red Solo cup with Dawn dish soap and water out every day through my garden, several times a day back when I gardened. And you just, if you try to catch them, they've got this habit where they'll just drop. And they go in the ground and they're gone. You can't find them. Like, I don't know if they burrow or if they scurry, but they're gone. And so, like, you put the red Solo cup underneath them, and then you act like you're going to get them, and then they drop right into it. And they can swim, except for Dawn dish soap will break the barrier that they're able to climb on the water, and so they just sink to the bottom and drown. Same thing with fruit flies. That's why if you have fruit flies in your home, you get apple cider vinegar and you put it into like a glass with literally 1 drop of Dawn dish soap, and then you take a fork and stir it so you're not getting splash up on the sides, because otherwise the fruit flies will go to that. But you stir it with a fork so there's not a lot of splashage, and then you just set it off to the side. The fruit flies will go to the apple cider vinegar, and they can normally walk on liquid, but they can't when there's Dawn dish soap because it breaks that barrier that they stand on. So yeah, so just little tips and tricks and everything for y'all. Dawn dish soap is amazing in the garden. It also does kill those red Japanese beetles. It will kill box elder bugs. It kills ants. So if you get a spray bottle and mix it with some Dawn dish soap and some water, and just go out and willy-nilly spray wherever you've got bugs congregating, and it will kill them. What were you joking about? I missed it. What did I? Thomas Mooney. Oh, that you were going to go back? No, you better stay here, buddy. You better stay here. Yes, I tried that one year, but it didn't work for me. I used it for an ant problem that I had out in the yard. The neem oil, it might, but I wouldn't. Because it's not an instant kill. I would use actual wasp and hornet raid for that personally, because like I'm deathly allergic. I have an EpiPen. I'm not risking it. There are some bugs that it's not an instant kill. But what it does is when they eat it, it makes it so that it blocks their ability to reproduce. And so there is no next generation. The diatomaceous earth that Jody Gardner was talking about, what that is it's like super, super, super fine glass. So soft-bodied insects. It's food grade. So it is actually put into a lot of our food because it's not harmful to us, but to any soft-body insect, it basically shreds them. No, I hadn't gotten that far in the comments, but yes. Anything soft-bodied for the diatomaceous earth. Yes, I did it for years. It was the love of my life for so long, being out in the garden. Oh, it was great. I believe the first. It is, and it is gentle to the environment too. And this stream is not sponsored by Dawn. Yes, sometimes you can do that with it too. It's multi-purpose. Oh, you want to know what's really funny? There's some Dawn dish soaps that are actually labeled as hand washing soap. I found that out. The green apple, particularly. Family Dollar had these giant jugs of Dawn dish soap, and they were labeled as hand washing soap. And I'm like, psh, yes, they were on clearance for $6. Like, people weren't buying them. because they said hand washing soap. So I got them thinking they were hand washing soap and filled all of my little pump dispensers with them. They worked great. But they worked the same as dish soap. So I looked it up, and they label their labels as hand washing soap because they're gentle enough for hands. But even the ones that say hand washing soap are intended for dishes. So I got these giant jugs of Dawn dish soap for $6. I was like, woot, woot, because those are like $12, $13 jugs. Oh man, I was happy. So happy. That labeling, you gotta watch it. So my family roots, my origins, on my mother's side, my grandmother's sisters and everything, they were from Minnesota. So like my immediate bloodline like came straight over from the boat from Germany and like set up shop right where the home still is. But my grandmother's family is from Minnesota. And two of the most wonderful people in the world. I could never get it right. All of my life, it was Aunt Vern and Uncle Irma. Even still to this day. But it's not. I just get it wrong. I would say it so fast, and I didn't know that I was saying it that way until, golly, I was already 18. I was past 18. So I was already an adult by the time my mom had mentioned it to me, that she thought it was so cute that I always said it that way. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, say Aunt Irma and Uncle Vern. And I rattled it off. Aunt Vern and Uncle Irma. Wait a minute. Sadly, Aunt Irma has passed a few years ago, but she was such a wonderful woman, such a blessing of a woman. So I don't intentionally pick on aunts, but I will screw it up. Oh, yes. Yes. I apparently am really far behind. I have never heard of them. Not that I know of anyways. Hold up. Okay, we're going to go on an adventure. Give me a minute. Can't see chat. I always gotta type things in Google first before I bring you over, just in case typing something like carpet beetles brings up something I don't want my stream to see. Because internet. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, first I'm going to take the comment down now. Okay. So, ew. I guess there's several varieties. But they're gross. Potent insecticide is useful in getting rid of carpet beetles and their larvae. One that contains deltamethrin, bifenthrin, or cyfluthrin. Use the insecticide on a small area not easily visible to test whether it stains the carpet or fabric. I'll tell you what, if I see these things in my house, I don't care what it does to my carpet. I want them out of my carpet. Wow. Boric acid is lethal on carpet beetles. Boric acid is another thing that I've used. Like if you have ants coming in through a specific window and you know that they're coming in through a specific spot, you can put boric acid down and it burns their legs off. It's kind of mean, but effective. And you can actually mix like boric acid with water and make a little paste out of it. And you can add some sugar to it. So you have sugar and boric acid and water and make a paste. And it doesn't even need to be a lot of sugar, just some. And they'll be attracted to the sugar. They'll eat it. With it, they'll eat the boric acid. And there goes the ants. That's why I didn't open any of those pictures. I'm sorry. Blame Ems. Oh, I bet. I'm pretty sure you're right on that. At least it's not ticks. But at least now you have some ideas. Hey, Tiana Miller. You missed the courts, but you're here for the chat. Oh. Ooh, I don't like those. They have so many legs. Those are the things of nightmares. I will not put those up on the screen. If anybody wants to look those up on their own time, they can. But, It's still in the gardening realm. It's still in the gardening realm. Oh, I've never heard of that. Interesting. Sorry if you can hear the train. I can do nothing about it but mute myself, but then what would be the point of staying open on the live? Now, don't get me started on anatomy or animal behavioral and wildlife studies. Let's see, what other topics am I really proficient in? I've got a few under my belt. I really do. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's awful. It really is. I 100% feel for you. Especially since I know, like, oh my gosh. I know how much work that is. And I know none of us are in the best health for dealing with a situation like that. I'm from the Midwest, but I've never been the type to, sit out with a six-pack and watch the Bug Zapper. And don't get me wrong, they're interesting. They really are. They're kind of fun, but I've just, it's not been my my cup of tea to do that. I know lots of people who do. They set up, their outdoor couch with the bug zapper, and they just take some beer out and wait for the my uncle was one of them. Now, I'm not great with that. That's my daughter's better at that than I am. Oh my gosh. So I inherited one of those in the divorce. I wasn't supposed to, but I did. And I had it. I was one of the guys that I was dating. Picked it up, and he's like, "Oh, cool. I wonder how this feels." And it's like, "Don't," but he did. He turned it on and he touched his hand to it. And you know what? He had a nice little waffle pattern on his fingertips for, I don't know, he probably still has them. I didn't date the smart ones. My ex-husband, he was quite intelligent. Book smart wise. He was smart. He was. I'll give him that. What do you guys think about there was a time, like years ago, that I actually wanted to do a YouTube channel where people would send in what topics they wanted discussed and what they wanted to learn about. And I would read through the suggestions. If it was something I didn't know about, I would research and learn about it, and then, give an analysis or an educational script on it or whatever. It was actually one of the things I wanted to do. Oh, I hate those little vampires. I have not found a cure for them other than drenching myself in DEET. Yep, that's the only thing. Well, I'm sorry, Sir Philip. It's the difference of, 30 viewers to 12 viewers. But I keep it open so that we can do this. It's kind of like split. And I also sprinkle a little Ava time in there, and we get the cats. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rocky Lennon. You know we would never do that on purpose. We would never exclude you because we love you. We love you, and we love Emmy. Oh. That was, yeah, there was also a time. Okay, so little ones cover ears. Everybody knows I was from Baraboo, which is in Sauk County, right? So before YouTube was a thing, I wanted to grow up to be what was her name? She was this old lady who taught about sex, and she's from Canada. Somebody's gonna know it. She was forever old. Dr. Ruth, thank you. I think that's right. Yep. She was my hero. Okay. And I wanted to grow up to have a radio station or radio show, and I was going to be the Sauk County sexpert. I need to close this window. Hold on. Oh my God. It's like never ending trains tonight. Okay. Sorry. But yes, that's what I was going to. Yep, Sue Johansson. Yep. I actually have Skin So Soft under my sink, but it was never really great for me. I would still get bitten up. What other things is Skin So Soft good for? And besides, Avon's like not easy to come by anymore. Like, we used to have Avon sales people like knocking on our door on the daily. But then, like, when MLMs became such a big thing, like you'd have like one head lady, and then like nobody else could get a footing in the business. So I think people just kind of gave up. Well, I wanted to have my own radio station, but Dr. Sue Johansson, you'll have to look her up. Is it Ruth? Ruth or Sue? Yeah, Sue. It's Sue. It's Sue. I had to say it fast to get it. See, that's how my brain works. I have to say it fast. If I think about it, then it doesn't come right. But yeah, Dr. Sue Johansson, however it's said, she had this television program, and people would call in and ask very descriptive questions. And it was a sex education show. And she's an actual real doctor. And, and it did not matter what they asked. Like, you could tell people tried to troll her, and she didn't care. She answered their questions as if they were legitimate. And you'd have teenage boys like snickering in the background, thinking they were, getting one over on her. No, she was a doctor. If you're going to ask about that, she's going to tell you professionally. So it was actually really great. I think we need more of that in this day and age. It was just honest, truthful medical advice relating to sex. And yeah, I wanted to have a radio station radio station channel, whatever, that people could call in and ask questions. But I didn't grow up and get the degree. You are so far behind. Yes, Philip. In fact, it existed long before Bluetooth did. Bluetooth just meant you didn't have to hold your phone up to your ear. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, good. So I'm not alone. Yeah. Yeah, the Amtrak's like 2 blocks. And the other trains come through. Yeah. Yeah, when a train comes through, like completely stops the town. Traffic cannot get around it. In Baraboo, because I've always lived only a few blocks from train tracks all my life. Train tracks and a river. That's my story. But in Baraboo, if there was a train, you could back out and go down the road with the viaduct and, under it and go about your merry way. There was, a route that you could go, the long way and around by the circus world, and you could bypass the train. Toma? No. Toma's like, nope, you are going to watch every car. True story. True story. Well, that's what the dream became. Originally, when I wanted to do the radio show, like I said, I wanted to grow up to be just like Dr. Sue Johansson. And it would have been a sex educational show. Then, when Kendra was like, she was in elementary school still. So probably like 8 years old or something, 9 maybe. I joked around about having a YouTube channel where people could call in or write in about any topic. Call in probably wouldn't have been so great because, my knowledge is, I don't know everything. So I would have had to learn a lot of stuff in order to present things. But I love learning. So it would have been a win-win. I could have researched topics that I was interested in, that people wanted to learn about, and then I could have presented them to the world. And I would have never been, it's one of those never stop learning situations. I would have loved it. But I didn't have the guts to have a YouTube channel at that point. I never thought that I would be on camera. Hi, baby boy. My goodness, what did he see? What was that? Oh, he's under the bed. Oh, no, y'all, I think a fly got in here or something. Billy just went nuts. He's happy. He's hunting. They could. I would have to be careful about which ones I respond to. It would be fun. I'm game for it. If anybody else is game for it, I'm game for it. Oh my gosh. What did I do? What did I do? Okay. Okay. We can do this. We can do this. So yeah, if anybody wants to learn about something specific, now keep in mind, this is not going to be an anonymous thing, at least not right away, to filter out the trolls, I suppose. So I will present, who the question is from and what the question is. If there ever becomes a desire for a show strictly that requires anonymity, I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now, it's just, like, gee, why are jellyfish clear or something like that? Stuff you could YouTube or Google yourself, but you don't feel like it and you want to see me present it. Whatever. Yeah, we were. Yeah. Obviously, I can't play it because of copyright rules, but I'm not kidding y'all. Go look up the song Coin Operated Boy. It's by a group called the Dresden Dolls. Dresden Dolls. It's super cute. It's super fun. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Unfortunately, it is too late for our first defendant of the traffic cases. But I love it. Oh, Chinny, you are just perfect. You are perfect. Oh, I will. And thank you, Crazy Old Rexy, for reminding me of it. Oh, yes, I will, Sir Philip. I promise. Ava's gonna make me. She heard me laughing and she's like, I gotta check on this woman. Is she okay? No. Oh, well, those I do know how they work. It's a combination of a phone line, and email service, and transmitting over the internet. So it downloads the data. When it's scanning everything, it scans it into the memory and then transmits it like an email. So for instance, if you're faxing something that's a really like 150 pages and you want to fax them all for some godforsaken reason, you might get through like 15 and then all of a sudden it stops because it's filled up its memory capacity at the moment. It keeps the internet connection and the phone line tied up throughout that time while it transmits that data, and then it will continue to download the next batch until the memory is full. But when you're faxing a page or two, it's kilobytes worth of data, so it's kind of a quick transmission. I hope that helps. Well, give me the model and I'll look it up. You have to set the clock, though. Your VCR microwave. Is it a combo? Every once in a while, Brian Boggs actually sticks a sandwich in the wrong side of it. One time, he accidentally put a VHS tape in the microwave side, and whoa, the smell on that. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. What did I miss? What did I miss? God. Oh my God, you guys. Oh, you're making me laugh so hard and it hurts so much. Oh. You guys are so funny. Only the panini press. Well, I'll give a better explanation after I research it some more. I gave you what knowledge I have. I don't know what part. You're going to have to dumb that down just a wee bit. Like, what aspect of the fax machine is it that you are questioning? Like saying how does a fax machine work is so broad. It really is. It's a very broad question. So like I could get into the, multiple components, or you can help me out here and just, narrow it a little. Oh no. Because they're metal connectors and you blow in them, you're putting moisture on them and providing a better connection because liquid is a conductor. It helps make the connection. Oh, that's awesome. Not for you. Not for you, I'm sure. I was the kid that I really did. I put a knife in the electrical socket when I was a little kid. It had dust in it, and I wanted to clean it out, and I did not know that you weren't supposed to put utensils in electrical sockets. It is. Yep, you are correct. Right? I know. See, it's like Spider-Man, he got bit by a spider and suddenly he had powers, and there's that sand guy, he got underneath the rocket that was going, and then he got magical powers. I stuck a fork in an outlet. I think it was a butter knife, actually. I really do. I think it was a butter knife because I remember there was dust in it, and I really wanted to clean it out. I was trying to be helpful. Hey, you know what? That brings up a good point. It is still before midnight my time. It's my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. I do love you. Sorry about the outlet. Oh, guys. Okay. So in the morning, yes, I did. I called him and I left him my happy birthday song. as a voice message because he didn't answer. And then I sent him David Bowie as a GIF going, "You're awesome. Happy birthday." Oh, good job. See? Oh no. Luckily I didn't. I think I let go of the handle when I saw the sparks coming up. They startled me and I just went like that. I said a GIF or a YIF if you want to be nerd techie. Thank you, you guys. Actually, your leg hair does keep growing, but it falls out faster than the hair on top of your head. You lose, I think it's like 150 hairs on the top of your head a day. You shed your eyebrows a lot faster than that. So before they can get to an extreme length, they come out. Oh, see, I didn't have that. My dad was a community service officer and he did animal control. So I knew how to catch cats and dogs. I knew how to clean shelters. I knew about histoplasmosis when I was like 5 years old because his partner ended up getting pregnant and she was not allowed to change the litter boxes. But I did. And then when I was pregnant and I was in school to be a CNA, I actually did a report on it and I learned that they form oocysts in your body and they can actually like come out when you're pregnant, even if you have not been in contact with litter boxes for years. So yeah, apparently, just women don't change litter boxes. That's the resolve of that. Yeah, my ex-husband is a perfect example of that. Golly. Good thing I didn't know you in the 70s. She was turning some parts into topiaries. It all migrated. Oh, the hair on Philip's head just it just moved. It just moved. Now it just She puts pony beads in. When she walks, it sounds like this. Oh, she's dead, Joe. You killed her. She just... Oh my God. Oh. Oh, oh my gosh, it hurts so much. Oh. Oh. Oh my God, you guys. Well, that was the reason for my comment about not knowing her in the 70s. Oh, gosh. She was the first one to get a bedazzler. Well, it started off with the trains. Oh, you don't need Google. You got me. I saw you were typing in a question and just putting whatever came up. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, you know, the bad part about this is I gotta pee. I'm sorry. And I have nothing to put on up, you know, to entertain you while I do that. So, oh my God. The jazz. Oh, I love you. I love you so much. I will not make that sound. That would be the first thing clipped. No, no, no. Oh. Oh, God. Okay, guys. I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then I think it's almost 11:30. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to jump into the Discord and play some Spellcast or Yahtzee or checkers, something like that. But first, you guys are the best. Oh my God. It hurts. I can't even tell you. Oh my God. Like, I'm having rapid fire tasing, like, jolts of pain. But they're worth it. Oh my God. They'll be better after I get the ablation. Oh, for a little while at least. But yes. Yeah, don't speak to me. That state trooper's still out there. But at least I know the fine would be $175.30 and 2 points. Only because of you guys. Without you guys, it would have been boring. Thank you all. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. I can't even tell you how much I love you. Absolutely. I know, right? Where is she? She's supposed to be on diaper duty. Okay, guys. True. Then I just gotta make sure it's not in a school zone, or I'm on the registry for life. That'll have to be another stream. Okay, guys, it's for real. I'm not doing it no more. All right. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.